Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alla. I'm a homeschooling mother of two and I work full time outside the home. Today is Wednesday when I'm recording this, and it is typically the day that I sit down and I meal plan for the week in advance. So I wanted to bring you along to show you how I do it to make sure that my family is fed. My main reason why I started doing this is because I just couldn't make it to the store. Every couple of days I was always running out of things. I never had the things I needed on hand to make the meals, and it just became chaotic. So this was even before working. I started meal planning and getting my meals figured out for the upcoming week. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Hopefully this will help you pick up some tips and tricks for you to implement it in your own family. Like I said, I've been doing this for several years now, so my method has really kind of been narrowed down what works for our family. I know what meals my kids eat, what meals that they don't like, what textures they don't like, and things like that. And so I have a quiet house. This usually ends up being on a Wednesday, and so I'm just gonna bring you along. And the first thing I wanted to show you is our food binder. And by food binder, what I mean is I have put together the recipes that my family likes into a binder. They are all in protective sleeves because my kids do help me cook in the kitchen. And so I have these in protective sleeves just in case something spills, something gets on them. It's a quick wipe. I don't have to constantly be reprinting recipes. If there's a recipe in the book that we have avoided for a while, I'll just ask my family, is there a reason why you guys don't pick this? And if they just say, it was a so-so recipe, I'll just go ahead and pull it out and see if we can try something new and replace the ones that are in here. So it is quite a hefty binder, but this has dinners, breakfasts, desserts that we like, and things of the like. And so I really enjoy this because I don't have to scour the whole entire internet. I know that these meals are the ones that my family likes, and I pull them out as I need them, and then I will make my grocery list according off of the ingredients this way. And so this is what we're going to do first. So the first step that I'm going to show you is I am going to show you my screen. I meal plan digitally just because I type a lot faster than I can handwrite. A lot of our breakfasts and our lunches are repeats, so the only thing that I'm technically planning for is dinners. I do go through our fridge and pantry to make sure, and freezer, to make sure that the breakfast and lunches are a go, that I have everything on hand for those, but those generally stay the same unless there's a special event or we're out of town or something like that. So I am going to now show you my screen and show you how I go through that process. So this is the editable template that I got probably over 7 years ago. I've linked it down below in the description if you're looking for an editable meal plan template. This one is simple yet has plenty of space. One of the first things that I do is I go through and I update the date to the current week that I'm planning for. I then update any of the home meals. This week we are having dinner with friends. In the notes section, I will add anything additional. On this date, I made a note that we need to bring dessert. And then I went through and I added in the days that we are taking meals to my father-in-law and any additional notes that needed to be added for this upcoming week. Now I enter the meals that have been selected from the binder, and I enter them into the days that make the most sense. For example, if we have somewhere to be, I won't select a dinner that requires a lot of prep or a meal that needs to be looked after or tended after. I usually will select an easier meal if we're out of the house, while the days that we are at home, I will look for a meal that might be a little bit more time consuming or just needs more of my attention. So I just plug those meals in where appropriate. Okay, now that I have typed up and printed my menu plan, I am going to go through my recipes and I'm going to write down a list of the groceries that I need to buy. This part can obviously be done digitally, but I am just very much a pen and paper person and prefer to do it this way. I usually make 3 headings, one for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and as I work down the menu plan, I add anything that might be needed in that category. This way I don't skip anything and I feel like I make sure everything for those meals is bought and ready to go. I also don't worry about what I might already own at this part. I am just working on all the necessary things that I need, and then I will go downstairs and go through my pantry, the fridge, the freezer, anything like that to make sure I don't double up on items. But this way, I just need to get it all down on paper and then go through what I own. Now that I am done planning for my family, I use the same methodology for my own meal planning. In an earlier video, I mentioned that I have some health concerns and I was diagnosed with mast cell activation syndrome. And because of that, I have to eat a certain way to keep my symptoms at bay as much as possible. And so this is why I have a separate meal plan for myself. It's very hard to cook 2 separate meals, one for my family and one for myself, but at this point in my life, I kind of have to do that to manage my symptoms. Now that I have completed my list, I will place an online order. I do utilize grocery pickup just because it saves me time. Unfortunately, I don't get everything from one store. Like I said, because of my dietary restrictions and my health concerns, not everything is offered at one grocery store. So I do make multiple stops, but I go to a town about 30 minutes away from us. It has Whole Foods and it has a lot of more options than the city that I live in. And so it's worth the drive for 30 minutes for me. So I will go ahead and place this grocery order. And then when I go to pick up the groceries, I will show you what I got. Hi, now it's Friday. My son's gonna help me today. It is his week in the kitchen, but usually the kids help me unpack. But I wanted to turn the camera around and show you what I got with the menu plan that I put together and showed you how I do that. And yeah, let's go ahead and turn this around. So in the very far back, we got some meatballs, chicken that we're going to be using today. We always like to have a pizza in the freezer for just in case kind of scenarios. We have blueberries under there for a dessert we're going to be making. We have green beans, cheese, we have 3 different flavors pretty much here. So we have the Vermont Sharp, the cheddar cheese, and the mozzarella. These candies are not for home. I buy a bag for work. As clients walk in, we have a little candy. See, told you, a little shadow. We have a little candy bin for the people that walk in, and so every once in a while I'll buy a bag. Ritz crackers, they're not part of our menu per se, but these are good for the kids to grab for snacks. We have Philadelphia jalapeno cream cheese, heavy cream for coffee, coconut flour to go with the blueberries for dessert. We got cream cheese, yogurt for me, broccoli, carrots, mushrooms, baby bells. My husband loves these to take these for lunch. Sweet peppers, salsa to go with our nachos, ham with the split pea soup, tortellini for the lazy lasagna. These I get because they're just so much easier. I still rinse them, but they're already pre-cut meaning all you have to do is just take how many leaves you want. I just noticed that this cuts down on prep work. So then we have pears, spinach, yogurt for my kids. These are Italian style meatballs. These are for me. They have clean ingredients and I can eat these, where the meatballs up there are for the rest of the family. We go through about 2 cartons of the 18 count eggs, grapes for my husband's working for my kids. Oops. We have garlic ranch. This is the coffee that I drink. Currently, I cannot have hot coffee. It reacts with my issues with my health. And so I've realized that cold coffee helps. And this is actually ends up being cheaper than if I was to do it myself, and I get the Busy brand. And then we have, again, I know it's heavily processed, but every once in a while we'll get this for the nachos that we're gonna have. Black beans for the nachos. This is gonna be for the lazy lasagna. My daughter requested granola, so that's that. You get tomatoes for salad. This is the split peas for the soup. We're out of mustard, so got that. Chicken broth. Again, I know how to make broth from scratch, but this is just a time saver. I don't always have time to make my own broth and have it in on hand, and so this is just, for me, it's a good substitution. And then we have more granola. This is ground beef. It's a 3-pack. It's cheaper this way, so I just bought a whole bunch of it. It freezes well, so it's not something that will go to waste. And this is our chicken. I should probably move that. And we always have chicken thighs in the freezer. It's a quick meal if someone needs a meal from church, or if we're running late, take these out, they defrost, and they cook it within about an hour. And my kids are the ones who typically cook the chicken thighs, just because that's a meal that they can do. And that is everything that I got for my total came to $286.60. I all got this from one store. It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes some ingredients are missing and I have to go looking for them elsewhere in other stores, but this time we lucked out. Just one stop and I'm ready to go. So now that everything's out, I verified that we got everything. I always do that and verify if we got everything, because the store that we go to doesn't print a receipt. You have to do it on your own, and so I always verify to make sure that we got everything that I ordered and that nothing is missing. It does happen, human error. It's, you know, it's fine. If anything ever happens, I always contact the store and they're really good about it. But now it is time to put this away and call it a day. It is Friday when I usually pick up my groceries after work, and so this is the last thing that I do, kind of considered for work. After that, we have a easy and relaxing Friday. So thank you for joining me today. I hope this showed you a good way of how I meal plan and grocery shop, and maybe you can use these tips and tricks for yourself, and hopefully you found this informative. And if you did, I would really like it if you hit that thumbs up button. If you like this content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. You will be notified when I post another video. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye.